Off to Caldwin's Bridge, sir. We'll get our sleep later. Just climb aboard when you're ready. What do you think, Corvo? Caldwin's Bridge. You've been in the city for years, but you lived in Dunwall Tower with the late Empress, so maybe you haven't visited the bridge before tonight. Something to look out for. See all them lights on the water? That's right, we'll be spotted for sure. You're gonna have to shut off their power before I can pick you up. Now, about bringing Sokolov back alive, he's smart. Maybe even smarter than Piero. Got the whole of Dunwall under his thumb with all that natural philosophy business. New technology, potions and the like. Seems dangerous to me. But what do I know? Here we are. I'll meet you at the arches under Sokolov's place when you're ready, Corvo. Assuming, of course, you've taken care of those floodlights.
Understand now. Curfew means ain't nobody allowed to be just wandering about, except those guards.
Yeah, I know it. But if we do see someone, then what? Can we say something? Remind them about curfew?
No, you don't remind them. You chase them down, and you give them a severely
Deadly beating is what?
Okay, yeah, I got it. Severely deadly beating. Tired yet? No.
Another patrol with you.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of curfew is lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwin's Bridge during this period. Curfew will end tomorrow morning at sunrise.
It's just ridiculous. Stupid rats. Plague. Elixir. Bunch of crap. How old did you say your sister was? Bug someone else. I better make a pass over here.
No, stupid goddamn. Never son of. Oh no. Stupid goddamn. Never son of.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the regent, the curfew is now active. No foot traffic is allowed across Caldwin's Bridge until curfew is lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian movement is allowed along Caldwin's Bridge during this period. Curfew will end tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Curse the plague and this blasted curfew. How is anyone supposed to make a living?
Well now, Mr. Pratchett, even a wealthy man like you needs the city watch. Gangs are cutting throats and smashing windows left and right, and the weepers, the plague victims are worse. Are you saying the Lord Regent is wrong for imposing curfew?
It won't do you any good to bait me, officer. But don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll profit. A smart man can come out ahead, even in the time of plague.
Sure, like that Sokolov. He's doing fine. Always a lot of exotic items coming and going from his place. Keeps this place running, at least for now.
Yes, if by exotic you mean foul-smelling as a witch's bottom. The royal physician will be fine too, until he crosses the wrong man.
Small bones in the pylons, blood beneath the stone locks, and I building a structure.
Rivers change course over many lifetimes, and eventually all bridges tumble down. 1,000 years ago, there was another city on this spot. The people carved the bones of whales into runes and inscribed them with my mark. Children still find them washed up in the river mud. Anton Sokolov has made a great study of my runes, but he's not special like you are. He wasn't chosen and he doesn't wear my mark, so he can't unlock their secrets. Sokolov believes there are specific words and acts that can compel me to appear before him. He searches old temples in Pendicia and ruined sub-basements in the flooded district. He performs disgusting rituals beneath the old abbey. But if he really wants to meet me, he could start by being a bit more interesting.
Touch the charger before your ship when the duty officer brings it by, and the arc pilot will fry you.
Those things? Willies.
Thankful and slack-jawed boys are devastated. There was a time when they didn't need these 60-second kids did. I think since the plague hit, none of them expects to live past 20, so why be scared of anything?
Wants me to go up and check the whale oil?
What for? The lights are working perfect.
Well, there's nothing to do. How did they manage to infiltrate the bridge in the first place?
Definitely somebody about. Watch it. What the fuck are you looking at?
Such a wondrous symbol of the progress we've made in industry. If you say so, sir. And remember, guardsmen, you must make sure they keep turning.
Find a way to keep these rats off me, so that I can get out. Take care of the rats, please. Thank you for helping me. I thought it was safe, but there were rats. So many rats, completely infested. I know some folks aren't superstitious, but I swear, the rats showed up after a man came through, waving around an amulet of some kind. It looked like it was made of bone. But he's dead now, like the others who were living here.
Catching this rat bastard. look about you, Grayson. You haven't been thinking again, have you?
No, sir. Not thinking. I was just wondering, if Sokolov is testing elixirs on people to cure the plague, why is it he owed as for help the citizens? If you follow my meaning, sir.
You have no mind for natural philosophy.
The city's dead.
Obviously, it's because the ones
We'll make
already
it
sick
3
with
more
plague
months.
don't live long enough to provide Sokolov with any useful information.
It's just a shame is all. Like that woman the other day. She was easy to look at. Seemed nice enough. Shame she has to die. I mean, and so horrible like too.
Now you listen to me. It's none of our concern the how or why of things. And if you want your elixir rations, then I suggest you stop your wondering. These are pigs. Pigs for Sokolov's experiments. And pigs mean nothing to me. Understand?
Right. I mean, why worry about a couple of disgusting smelly pigs, you know? All pigs get slaughtered sooner or later. Better if I wonder about those sounds we heard from the warehouse, right? I mean, what was that all about?
That's better. You'll go far,
If the
Grayson.
city's dead, we'll make it 3 more months.
What happened? Whacked in the head?
I don't know who you are or why you did this for me, but listen. Nearby, there's a partially collapsed building. Up on what used to be the 3rd floor, you'll see a painting. I used to work there. Behind the painting, there's a safe, and the code is 294.
Someone's supposed to be on duty.
Gather for whiskey and cigars tonight? Indeed, I believe so.
I don't know about you, but even our
turn my hopes and energies to Formula 25, which in conjunction with a high heat therapy, which came to me most vividly in a dream last night, has great potential according to the latest celestial alignment. As for test subject 312, after the characteristic sloughing of the skin, she should be dead by mid-morning tomorrow.
What is this? Leave me be. Thank you, whoever you are. He kept me in a cage, like an animal. The pain is horrible right now, so I'll just hide in a corner and leave when I'm feeling better.
Many seek the bridge for solace. Ruined men, abandoned women, and plague victims all left from here. The crushed minerals, the farm animals, the vials of liquid mysteries. All these and more are necessary for his experience.
Royal physician himself. You made a neat job of it. Drop him here and we'll be off. They set up a cell for Sokolov in the old kennel. Shackles and everything. It'll be a shock, him waking up in the straw and old dog poop. But from what I hear, he's woken up worse places. Guess we all have at that.
Well done, Corporal. Well done. I doubt a dozen soldiers could have done it better. Sokolov's knowledge will enable us to strike at the Lord Regent directly, and ultimately help you get your life back. Soon, we won't have to hide in the shadows. The royal physician is brilliant, but he was a fool to protect the Lord Regent. Sokolov gave us the elixir, the war machines. He could have made us a great nation. Now he pays the price for siding with a tyrant. You have my thanks, sir. If you wish to get some sleep, now is a good time. Don't worry. We won't start the interrogation without you. Give me a length of rope and a bucket of seawater. That's all I need to break a man. The royal physician has a subtle mind. He may attempt to trick us.
Where do I find a good
I'm
meal
working
around
on a
here?
new arc pilot.
If you think prison food's bad, you should see what the Abbey serves its captives.
The royal physician is badly shaken up. I'll have the
Private
servants see to his
ceremony
new
following
quarters.
the tragic loss
Take a night's
of
rest,
two of our
and then you
city's
can help me
best
tear
Now
down.
that we have
The
Sokolov
Lords
as a
Custom
guest,
and Morgan Pendleton.
ask him how he
All
deluded
holdings
the
and
Academy
parliamentary
into
votes
making
now
him
fall to
royal
Lord Trevor
physician.
Pendleton.
Ask
He
him how he
asks for
stole my
respect
elixir
during this
for me.
time of
Will you
mourning.
do that for me? Whatever you do, don't trust Sokolov, especially not on the subject of cetacean anatomy. Normally, I'm a natural philosopher, but today, consider me a humble craftsman here to serve.
Logic is flawed, anyone can see that. And not an original idea to be heard. His notes are a mess if he even keeps them. How he got this far is anyone's guess. He says what they want to hear. Friend of the rich, that's his method. Sokolov's true genius is pampering the aristocracy. Fools.
Corvo, can I tell you something? I have a secret retreat nearby that may come in handy if the city watch ever kicks in the doors. It's an abandoned apartment across the street from the bar. I don't think anyone else here knows about it, but I'm guessing I can trust you. The key is stashed under my bunk upstairs. If there's ever trouble, you can go there for safety. I know I will. Yes, Mr. Corvo. I'll make sure your quarters are clean, sir. So much dust. It must blow down from the upper city. They let that Emily run wild. It's not how I do it, if you don't mind my saying.
Lord Pendleton has departed for the evening to attend to matters at the manor. It concerns the departure of his brothers. I'm sure you understand. I want you to know I understand your actions with regards to Custis and Morgan. They were horrible men. Lord Pendleton shares little with his brothers, other than name. The stories I could tell you about what my lord's older brothers did to some of the staff, especially the maids. It's beyond my station, but I must say they were beasts, dressed as nobles.
Lord Pendleton, Memoirs, Chapter 41, in which I bed two of the Boyle women, and only missed the third by virtue of some inclement weather. It was the month of rain, and to counter the gloom, the Boyle ladies hosted 3 nights of merriment by invitation only. Lydia was most fetching in lavender pants and a tunic of yellow silk. She was pleased with me from the moment I walked in the door, with my manservant bringing not 1 but 2 cases of effervescent wine from the south. In fact, I had come laden with gifts, such that all 3 Boyle women soon took notice, and they set out to make me more than welcome. We uncorked the wine right away, and as night fell, we... Wallace! Confound these interruptions.
La di da di da di da, la di da di da, la di da di da, di da da da, la di da da da.
He's only a natural philosopher. How tough could he be? Good work, Corvo. Get some rest and we'll take a crack at him tomorrow.
Well, by respecting the
I wonder what Piero thinks of our guest. I still wake up thinking I'm in the stocks. The nursemaid Callista is quite fetching, huh? Or maybe I've been in prison too long. I'll sleep like the dead tonight.
We're getting closer to reaching our goals, but our position is becoming more dangerous. You don't house and feed a half-dozen people without leaving telltale traces. Riverboats pass day and night, and the looters are going to start gathering once they're sure the plague has burned the place out. I conclude, if our enemies are not dead by the month of wind, we will be. There's a sadness in Emily, but she's strong. Weathering the death of her mother just a half a year ago better than most grown men I've known. Once we take Dunwall Tower, I'll see that her life is better. I've always thought that I'd command the Navy in her name, but sometimes I wonder if I shouldn't just take the title Lord Regent and do it properly. Attention, Dunwall citizens. You are required to boil any water from public fountains or the river. Anyone who has consumed untreated water must be reported to the Watch.
Restless hands do no good, they say.
Please be as quiet as you can. It took forever for Emily to fall asleep. Poor dear. It's okay, Emily, I'm here. She seems happier when you're here. Though I know you have important things to do. Out there, in the city.
There's hardly a need to work on table etiquette. She knows it all. Even if she chooses not to employ it. She'd rather hold her spoon by the wrong end and pretend it's a sword. Then suddenly she changes and she's all manners, asking for a tea party. I tried to oblige her, but I have little to work with. No proper plates. Instead of a cloth napkin, I've only the bar rack. Ale mugs instead of teacups. I've asked for things befitting her, but they have their minds on other things. For now, Emily and I decided to make a pretend dinner using paper and little things she's found here and there. On the floor, I suppose. Not right for a princess, but it'll have to do.
Please leave a candle for me. It gets dark in here and I can't see my mother. I just want a candle. Where is Corvo?
She sees more than she is telling. Young Lady Emily.
No!
was lost. She has become a pawn in the games of men.
I don't like your eyes. Why are they so black? Stop looking at me.
She was bribed with sweet biscuits and oxmen, calmed with stories of magic and seafaring, all to keep her sane in a time of turmoil. She hides her fears. She seeks someone to trust. She clings to her childhood things, but they bring her only brief comfort. She sees more than she is telling. Young Lady Emily. She is Callista Kernow. She has learned to defend herself in this treacherous city.
She still has bad dreams, though it's understandable given all she's been through. Sometimes she calls out your name. Sometimes she cries for her mother.
She and her uncle, the last of the Kernow family.
Little Emily. Someday soon an empress, but only an exhausted child at the moment.
She dreams of freedom, and the decks of whaling ships fast after the beasts of the sea. But alas, she is a woman.
Poor girl. She's been through so much. I hate to say it, but we're counting on you to make things better.
Such sadness.
I'll stay right here, by her side all night.
Corvo, wake up! You were making funny faces while you were sleeping. I decided to nap here in your room while Callista was taking her bath. She told me if there's ever trouble, I should always run here. Callista will come get me when she's done with her bath. Thanks, Corvo. It makes me feel better.
The young Lady Emily was trying to sneak into your quarters while you slept, sir. I don't think she meant any harm.
Attention Dunwall citizens. The Ascendancy Circle has chosen Teague Martin to be High Overseer. Let us all praise their choice. The dance of investiture will take place without delay.
I know it looks... I was inventing a new kind of lock. The tumblers shaped like snowflakes. Okay. The truth is, there is no snowflake lock. I was just, looking through the lock. I couldn't bear it if she knew. I know you're a man of honor, and I also know that you can kill me at any time. And for both of these reasons, I apologize and beg for your discretion. You require my unique services? We can quickly return to my shop.
punished by officers of the Watch.
The High Overseer is supposed to be the most pious man in the Empire, living completely in alignment with the Seven Strictures and guiding the people in the religious faction towards spiritual health. Campbell was a farce. If not for all the blackmail material he accumulated, he'd have never been more than a lower-level initiate among overseers. The Admiral Lord Pendleton and I have already begun using some of what we've learned from Campbell's Black Book, Corvo. You've given us powerful leverage to get the overseers on our side. I can't thank you enough. I'll speak to you later. I've got to go through Campbell's journal again. It's incredible. A decade of secrets, betrayals, and observations. Now I understand how such a man rose to the top of the Abbey.
Say what you will, the royal physician knows his wines. We must admire Lord Pendleton's composure in the face of his terrible loss. That mark on your hand, is it a tattoo or a brand? It's disturbing, I must say. Surely you're not superstitious.
What will I say when Sokolov has passed at his funeral? Something like this, perhaps. Sokolov is dead. Gone forever. We were rivals at the Academy, yes. He was jealous of my agile brain and youthful energies. But he's dead now. And what can I say about him? Sokolov, he did improve on some inventions. He did well for himself in his way. He had many admirers among the aristocracy, especially those who lack a solid background in matters of natural philosophy. He was a painter of portraits. They say his work was genius. That remains to be seen. Time will tell.
I hope Sokolov will cooperate. I'd hope to have him paint my portrait again one day. Just me this time. It's not that I object to holding him hostage for a while, since he's been aiding the Lord Regent, but it's a shame. I always found him rather charming.
Anton Sokolov dined with us at the manor several years ago. He is both brilliant and disgusting. I doubt he has changed much.
Bringing in Sokolov was a stroke of genius. The Lord Regent's got the support of most of the noble families. Who knows what bullying he's done to bring them all in line. We need information to break his hold.
Royal Physician, I believe you and Corvo knew each other in former days. Unlike you, our friend Corvo knows what loyalty means.
Bah! I am loyal to my inner spirit. You are the one consorting with the most wanted man in the Empire.
It's my belief that Corvo was innocent in the death of the Empress, and the former spy master, or the Lord Regent, as he calls himself, is a ruthless tyrant bent on destroying the city, the heart of the Empire.
You are mistaken if you think there's love between me and our Lord Regent. But whatever you intend to do here, I assure you, I am beyond petty scare tactics.
If I don't scare you, Sokolov, perhaps these rats will. Even if they don't carry plague. I've heard of a swarm of rats stripping a child's body to the bone in half a minute. I've heard worse. How long do you think it'll be before you talk? Before you beg to talk?
Rats? Is that the company you keep now, Admiral?
It's the company you keep that interests us, Sokolov. We know you painted a portrait of the Lord Regent's mistress, the very aristocrat who is funding the military with her fortune. She is the key to the Lord Regent's control over the city, and we must have her name.
Sorry, Admiral. I cannot help you. you're part of this rabble, but I know you have your reasons.
Yes, he does. All we need is the name of the Lord Regent's mistress. It's very simple.
I elect not to tell you. You will have to force the words from me, and I warn you, my willpower is quite legendary. King Street brandy? I didn't know any more existed. It is an extraordinary gift. I see I'm dealing with men of taste. I can tell you this much. She was always referred to as Lady Boyle. I painted her to be sure, but I never saw her face or learned her first name. You see, I painted her from behind. I assure you, she still makes a striking portrait. But I do not know which Boyle she is. I was to be introduced to her at a masked ball in her honor this very night. But I will miss that party, it seems.
A masked ball at the Boyle estate. Tonight? The timing is perfect, Corvo. But the Boyles are wealthy and ruthless, so security will be very tight.
Of course, you already have a mask, don't you, Corvo?
He's right. You will be able to mingle with them once you're on the ground. You'll have to find out which of the Boyle women is connected to the Lord Regent and take her out in whatever way you can devise. We're very close now. If you do this tonight, we'll be able to strike at the Lord Regent himself and put Emily on the throne. May the wind favor you.
I swear I never saw her face, although I can vouch that her hindquarters are the finest in the city, and perhaps the Empire itself. I assume I will remain in this kennel for the duration of your little protest movement. I don't suppose you have anything to read? Wilmot's History of the Lesser Perversions, perhaps? You're mistaken if you think I care a fig for the Lord Regent. The man's neurotic. He's the source of most of our trouble, I suspect. You're a far more interesting person than I took you for, Corvo. One day we'll have quite a conversation.
I hear you're off to the Boyles' little bash tonight. I have just a tiny favor I'd like to ask you. Could you give this note to Lord Shaw? You'll know him. A rather brusque man wearing a wolf's mask. In fact, he may be looking for me.
I knew Sokolov would see reason and tell us what we need to know. He never actually liked the Lord Regent.
Have you ever been in a sea battle?
Of course.
Did you ever see pirates? And did you sink any?
Of course. Dozens. Oh, yes. But that's not for young girls to hear about.
But I will be Empress, won't I? And then I'll have to sink lots of enemy ships myself. And that's what Empresses do mostly, isn't it?
Of course.
I knew it! I read that some pirate ships have witches aboard that can cause storms and make whales do what they want. Is that true?
Yes. Mostly. Maybe we should be quiet now.
Very well. Everything was so fancy at the Golden Cat, but in a different way than the palace was fancy. The old Madame Prudence said that all the ladies are princesses and the men come to admire them. My doll, Mrs. Pilson, was there the day my mother died. We both saw it. I bet Mrs. Pilson would have liked it there. I hope she's safe, wherever she is. If I ever see my doll again, I'm going to declare a holiday across the Empire.
I can feel the great age ending. They are burning whales. The doom of Pandysia has come to the city.